most Substack writers are doing it all wrong. They're obsessing over subscriber count, trying to write the perfect newsletters, and waiting for magic to happen. But here's the thing, that's actually not the best way to make money on Substack. So today I'm going to show you my sort of strange technique for making tens of thousands of dollars on Substack every single month. And what's better, this technique works without needing thousands of paid subscriptions. I know this works because I literally do this process every day. I've closed dozens of clients with it, and I'm gonna show you how to do the exact same thing right now. Let's talk about why the traditional Substack strategy is keeping most writers broke. So here's what most Substack writers do. They write weekly newsletters hoping to build an audience. They try to convert free subscribers into paid subscribers that are gonna pay them $5 to $10 a month. And then they repeat this process for months or years before they ever see any real money. Let's look at the math that it would actually take for you to get to $10,000 a month using Substack subscriptions. So for $10,000 a month with a $10 subscription, you're gonna need 1,000 paid subscribers on your newsletter. This is usually going to require you to have 10 to 20,000 subscribers in general, because only about 5 to 10% of your list is ever going to convert to paid anyways. In order for you to do this, it's likely going to take you 2 to 3 years most likely to build up the type of audience that's going to allow you to make $10,000 a month on Substack. But there's actually a much faster monetization model that almost no one talks about, except for me. So instead of trying to get hundreds or thousands of people to pay you $5 to $10 a month, instead you can use your Substack to land a handful of clients that are paying you $3,000, $5,000, in some cases even $10,000 or more. This is something I've done myself and that I've taught my clients. So let me show you how this works. Instead of going for subscriptions, you're going to create something called a high ticket offer, right? So a high ticket offer is a product or service that you sell for $3,000 or more, right? So you're solving a specific problem for your readers in exchange for large amounts of money. So if you have a relationship newsletter, instead of just getting subscriptions, you could do a relationship coaching package that you would charge $3,000 or more for. If you are in the health space and you write about nutrition or fitness, you could create a coaching program related to that and charge $3,000 or more. Even if you're in a space like self-improvement or mindset, you can turn it into a peak performance offer or a specific productivity or time management offer that you can charge these amounts of money for, right? So most people in your audience are not going to be able to afford the high ticket offer, but that's the whole point. This entire strategy only needs you to convince 2 to 4 people per month to reach your income goals versus hundreds or thousands that you would have to do if you were doing Substack subscriptions, right? So you want to build this high ticket offer, and I have, plenty of content on this channel that talks about how to build a high ticket offer, but then after that, you want to use this strategy to incorporate it into your Substack so that you can make a lot of money. So here's a 3-step process you must follow if you want to make $10,000 per month on Substack. Number 1, you want to have strategic content. The key is writing content that attracts buyers and not subscribers. That means you want to be specific and dialed in with what you're saying to your readers. Like, let's say you're a health writer, right? Most health writers have, generic nutrition tips, generic fitness tips, and general wellness advice, right? But if you want to be a successful health writer turned health coach, you want to be addressing very specific pain points. You want to be able to show clear transformation frameworks and stories. And you want to position yourself as the expert guy that's going to help people along in their health, right? So for example, if you are a functional medicine practitioner who helps people with gut health, don't just have a post called 5 gut health tips, right? Write a post called how I helped my client get rid of irritable bowel syndrome in 90 days or less using gut health protocols, right? So that's a very specific symptom or something that's going on with that client that someone else who is into something like that would want to know, right? Instead of just being a dating coach or providing dating tips for a broad audience, start writing content that's more specific, like how introverted high net worth men can meet women without going on dating apps, right? So you see how that avatar is more dialed in, the content is more dialed in, the specific problem, so somebody who's an introverted professional guy with the resources to hire a coach but doesn't have a lot of time to go out on dates and wants to put himself out there is going to relate to that a lot more than someone else. Another example, actually on Substack, my brother does relationship coaching, but he does attachment style relationship coaching. So he's creating content specifically about how your attachment styles affect your relationships, right? So it's a lot more targeted and dialed in than your typical relationship writer, which is why he actually has been signing clients. He just texted me literally yesterday, that he signed a client that paid him $2,000, right? So this stuff works, and you just want to be more dialed in with your content so that you can attract people who really think that you are just the person for them, so they'll pay you to solve their problems. Next, we're going to talk about my secret weapon. It's the one feature I've been using on Substack like more than anybody else, and it's been crushing it for me and helps me land a bunch of clients. So So the secret weapon that you can use to get clients on Substack is notes, right? So Substack notes are like short form content that you would see on Twitter or other social media apps. And most Substack writers aren't using them. Most people are just sticking with the long form newsletters, but you can do a ton of damage with notes, right? So for my case, I post at this point, 6 to 8 notes a day, right? So most people still aren't posting notes, believe it or not. It's still like a blue ocean for you to go into. And what you do with your notes is that you can get engagement from people who aren't on or who aren't subscribed, to your Substack newsletter. And so what you can do is drum up a lot of engagement for people who could be potential clients that you otherwise wouldn't have just by posting the newsletter. Also, publishing notes helps you add people to your newsletter, right? So if you publish a note on Substack and then it goes viral, well, then you could be potentially exposed to tens of thousands of people, right? I've seen Substack notes go crazy viral, and you can use the engagement to turn it into clients. Start using Substack notes, take the pain points that your audience is experiencing, and start creating, at least one piece of short form content per day on notes. Ideally, you do 3 to 5. Right now, I'm testing the limits and seeing really how far I can push it. But once you have the Substack notes installed, you can use this next strategy to start signing clients like crazy. So the thing you need to do to turn Substack readers, people who engage in your notes, into clients is something called the conversation bridge, right? So at every given point when someone engages with your newsletter, you can reach out to them to close them as a client. So for example, when someone signs up to my Substack newsletter, I send them a DM. I say, hey, thanks for liking my newsletter. Curious, what made you sign up, right? And then they start telling me what they're interested in, and then I start having conversations with them about their problems, and then I turn them into clients, right? Same thing with notes. Every time someone likes one of my notes, I say, hey, thanks for liking my note. What resonated with you most about that note that I just posted? And then they answer. Then I dig deeper into what's going on. Say, oh, for example, my Substack is about things like creating content, making money online, building a business. So I'll say, hey, curious, where are you at with your business right now? Where are you looking to be in the next 6 months versus where you are right now? What are some of the roadblocks and sticking points that you're running into, right? So this conversation framework can work in any niche. You don't have to be a make money online person. I have students doing this in areas like data analysis coaching. I have another woman who does emotional trauma release therapy. I have another who does anxiety relief coaching, right? And then you just post the content, and then you're reaching out to people, and then you are having conversations with them to close them as clients. So if you go from creating pieces of content on Substack, right? Post your newsletter a couple times a week, post 3 to 5 notes a day, and now you're drumming up engagement. And the other thing I like about the Substack algorithm is that it's very sticky. I've been getting engagement on stuff that I posted more than a month ago, as crazy as that sounds. So now you have all this engagement drummed up, you have conversations, you have your offer, you close them as clients, and this is the process that you can use to make way more money than you would just trying to sell $5 subscriptions. Speaking of my newsletter on Substack, my Substack newsletter is dedicated to the concept of monetizing your mind. So I'm going to give you all my strategies and frameworks for building a 6-figure business using skills you already have. So if you're interested in that and you want to learn how to use Substack the right way, and in general just how to build a business, I actually put the link to my Substack newsletter below. So go sign up for that. I'm creating a couple posts a week, really diving into the specific things I do and kind of expanding on these ideas that I'm talking about in these videos. So sign up for that Substack, and I'll see you inside, and I'll see you in the next video.